Hello and welcome to a Space Engineers video where I review all of these civilian vessels behind me. These were built in a building competition in the Lunar Colony server. I will include a link below. So we have 9 entries, but I could not find the 9th, therefore we only have 8 of them. So let's start at the end here. We have the RNV Light Transport by LT540p. So it is a small crane vehicle. Appears to be inspired by some sort of maritime vessel that is hydrogen powered. It has some mag plates here for you to lock on some stuff to if you need to. There is a little vent under here to some lights and some atmospheric clusters, it looks like. So there's a door on either side that leads to a fairly tall interior space. There's some good use of the carved glass blocks here. And there are 2 seats. Now the pilot is on the right side, and this button here is for pressurization. Right, so let's try and fly. So it looks like there's a custom turret for controlling the crane. Crane is fairly easy to use. I feel this could have been better if it used the script for the crane, but it's not bad using the custom turret controller. Right, so let's try and fly it. So it has these custom landing gear on the bottom. Very simplistic, just a hinge and some blast doors. And while it's a little sluggish, it does fly well. Has no problems keeping itself up, and it has some decent acceleration. Due to it being hydrogen powered, this and I believe all of these are space capable. Yeah, it's a nice design. So on to the next one. So next up we have the Orange Survival Shuttle by Lunar Colony. So this one is really small, the smallest of all the submissions. And this would work really well in a survival setting. So it looks like one medium cargo container, and it has a seat in the front and back, so perfect if you are playing multiplayer with a friend. It has no toolbar setup, but it does fly well. Yeah, it does fly well, although the upthrust I can see being a bit of a problem, so don't go doing any stunts like that in it. But this is a really good survival ship, and Luna did a nice job on it. So on to the next one. So for the next one we have the Vespa Interplanetary Shuttle by Mollusk. So this one, I believe, is the only one with, one of the only ones without a custom cockpit, and it is also one of the narrowest. This definitely looks like a survival ship, and it can carry 2 passengers and the pilot. You have this really nice view from the cockpit, including some LCDs giving you all the info you'll need. It has some good toolbar setups. It does fly well. It has some really good upthrust, and as stated, it is space capable. It flies fairly well, and you have a good view from the interior. It also has a rear camera and a forward camera. So that was the Vespa Interplanetary Shuttle. So next up we have the Lasalle class Shuttle Transport by StarRT. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. So this one is a really nice looking one, and I believe this kind of captured the essence of the challenge really well. So you have some seats on either side, so this could act as a type of shuttle. You have 2 pilots. Neither of them have toolbar setups, unfortunately. And while it doesn't have a bottom connector, it does have 2 side connectors, which I see this being the only real flaw with it. It I believe has some really good storage capacity. Yeah, it has 4 medium cargo containers, making this a really good transport. So, in terms of capturing the criteria of the challenge, I believe this one did it the best. It has some good thrust, although forward thrust is a little lacking, but it's a transport, not a fighter, so it doesn't need it. It does handle a little poorly, but it is also very large. Doesn't have any problem with upthrust, and it is beautifully designed. So that was the Lasalle class general transport. So on to the next one, we have the Garrett Micro Prospector by Yaki. So this one is probably the most, one of the most greebled submissions. So it has this really square front cockpit, and overall it makes a good use of sci-fi and has a ton of different shapes breaking it up. It uses these really simple but nice custom landing gear, and it probably has one of the best interiors. So it has this navigator seat up top, and you have these depressurize buttons. Good cargo access here, and the cockpit with fully set up toolbars. And as tradition for a Yaki ship, it has plenty of cameras. And if I unlock the landing gear, it comes with a timer block to fold up the landing gear nicely into it. So, while I do feel the gyro is a bit strong for the amount of thrust it has, it does fly really well. I feel this is one of the best submissions we had, so that was the Garrett Micro Prospector. Next we have the Daedalus Scout by Sand, or Sandstorm. So this one is one of the more unique ones, making really good use of the rounded cockpit windows. And I believe this also has a military configuration, but this also has one of the most unique and most infuriating airlocks I have ever seen in a ship. So you have to enter it from the side, close the door behind you, and then you can open the next. So the interior almost looks like it isn't finished, but it's a really nice interior, although compact. One kind of infuriating thing about it is how the glass is inverted at these sides, but generally it is really nice. So it does have some setup toolbars, and if I take off, it is a little lacking on the up thrust, but it makes up for that in the good forward acceleration. To make it more unique, it is even width, which isn't seen all that often. And it does also have this really nice setup for the pilot with all kinds of displays. You also have a good view from the cockpit, so you could see where you're flying. And that was the Daedalus scan. The next we have the Clancaller delivery shuttle by Spitfire. This one is by far the simplest of the submissions, but it does have these very nice folding wings and tons of Clancaller LCDs. It also has this nice top thrust pod and a good view from the cockpit. So it has a simple interior with the passenger seat in a cockpit and more branding, although it is a bit slow. I have that would be helped by the ion thrusters if it's in space. And this one would really perform well as a Clancaller delivery shuttle, as the name suggests. This would be a nice survival shuttle if you needed to carry some cargo. So that was the Clancaller delivery shuttle. And lastly, we have the VSEC 225C StarRT by me. So this has some subgood engines at angle. It also has a custom cockpit and a full custom interior. So to enter it, you board from this back door, and you can close it behind you. Then you have an airlock where you can pressurize and depressurize. Has a custom interior. You can turn off the lights there. And it does have a full cockpit setup, including being able to open and close the back door. So it does fly well, although it flies much better in space than atmosphere. It doesn't have much instability from the subgoods, but it does exist. So you'll definitely need to take caution when flying it. So that was the VUSEC 225C. Alright, so thank you all for watching. Workshop links and link to the polls for voting the winner of this competition will be in the description. Poll closes in 12 hours from recording, so make sure to vote quick if you intend to. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Oh, it's illegal. So for the next one, we have the mollusk, and lastly,